If you're working full-time, but your paycheck disappears before the month is over and you can't seem to make enough money to survive, then this video is for you, because I'm going to show you how to replace your income with options starting with just $100 using just one symbol, the SPY. Stick with me. In today's video, you're going to learn how to turn a small account into a steady income stream, exactly what low-risk trade to place each and every week, and the proven system that my students have used to replace their incomes on a regular basis. It's simpler than you think. Let's go ahead and get started step by step. So the first thing I want you to realize is that we are trading the SPY, and using the SPY, it helps us get a really high win rate, right? And so the way that we do this is we follow the trend with the SPY, and we're looking at a chart here on the daily time frame, and we want to trade this whenever it is above the 200 period moving average and on the daily chart. That's what we're looking for. We're also looking for price to pull back just a little bit on the hourly while it's staying above the 200 on the daily. So when I'm saying just pulling back, you could put an RSI on it or a 10 period moving average. If it drops below the 10 period moving average, then we can watch it, and as it stays below on the hourly, when it pops back up, you could enter that way. Another way that we like to do it is we will watch the RSI. If price on the hourly drops below the 50, then we can look to get into the trade that way as well. And so we're looking at buying the S&P 500. Now the reason the SPY, it's the ETF, the reason why we want to buy is because if you look at a yearly chart, most of the time the S&P 500 goes up. If you look at a longer term, a quarterly or monthly chart, most of the time the S&P 500 goes up. So we want to take advantage. See, this is all mathematical based, and we want to take advantage of the statistical edge, which is that most of the time it's going up. Now, if it's below the 200 and we're in a downtrend, well, then we're not going to do it. We're going to come up with another strategy, another entry. But for right now, while it's above the 200, we're going to let it roll. Now, let's go ahead and pull up the option chain on this, because this is going to be an option. Now we're ready for our trade. Remember, the strategy is pretty simple. We're looking for the S&P 500, which is the SPY, to be above the 200 and for it to dip on the 1 hourly. So now we've got that dip. So what we want to do is we want to look at an option chain. And we're going to go out 45 days and above. So in this particular trade, we're going to go out 47 days. It's August 29th. And we're going to be looking at buying this option. Now remember, I said this is only $100 is all you need. So in this case, if we took and we bought it at the current price, the S&P 500, the current price is trading 623. So we would buy it basically what you call right at the money, which is the 622 strike price. And what we're going to also do is we're going to do what's called a debit spread, which means that we're buying the 621 and we're selling the 620. And so what we have to pay is the difference between those two options. And so in this case, it's 73 cents. And on one contract at 73 cents, that means it is $73 because you're doing 100 shares. Now, let's talk a little bit about what strike price we want to choose. We always want to look at the current price, and if you want to save money and buy a cheaper option, you want to do something that you would call out of the money price. And the reason you would want to do that, because if you go out of the money, it's cheaper. However, there's a drawback, and every time you're doing anything in the market, there's always a drawback. Yes, it's cheaper, but your win rate is going to go down. So what we do is we want to go find an option that's a little bit cheaper. And so in this case, we're going to go to the 627, 628, and the option drops down to about 62 cents. So now it's only going to cost us $62. And what we do is we put our order in for $62, and anytime the price will go up from here, we'll make money. And remember, so we're buying it on a pullback, we're in an uptrend, and we're getting in for just a mere $62. And so what we're going to do is we're going to buy the option, and then we're going to try to sell it as soon as we get into it. So I like to target 25%. So at this point, we're going to go at 0.62. So if your price is 0.62, and then you times that by 1.25, you would take a profit at 25%, which is roughly 77 cents. And so you're spending $62 on the trade, and you're closing it for 77. So your profit would be 77 minus 62. So you're making about $15. Now, I know that's not a lot, but remember, I said that with a $100 account. So the good news is you only have to do those about 4 or 5 times, and you've already doubled your money. So potentially, you could take a trade like this several times a week and maybe double your money in the first week. And what you do is you slowly increase your contract size. Once you get your account to 150, you can take 2 contracts. Once you get it up to 300, you can take 3 contracts, and you just slowly increase your trade size. Now, let's talk about risk management here. Since we're going out 45 days, that gives us a month and a half. And so we'll just monitor the position of the trade, and if the position of the trade drops below 50%, then we will roll the option out another 30 days, which gives us more time to win that trade. We might lose a small amount on it, but then we'll end up making another 25%. And we just keep doing that over and over and over again. The next thing you know, your account's going to be from $100 to $200 to $400, $800, $1,600. You're going to see slow account growth using this strategy. Now, my members and I are using this. If you want to learn more details, how to win trades like this, how to execute this strategy, be a part of our great community, or even just get a free Replace Your Income roadmap, click the link below in the description, and I'll give you a free roadmap tailored to your situation to help you replace your income, because not everybody's going to start with $100. You might want $1,000, right? So we're going to tailor it to your situation and work to see what works for you. All right, well, I hope that video gave you some great information. Thanks a lot, and we will see you in the next video.